Now showing the Black Widow at the MBX Films Theater, because we're going to open up Black Widow figure of her final movie costume. The black, some gray, got some of that classic gold bits. Very much inspired by the comic book Black Widow outfit, at least one of them. So we'll open this up, talk about the figure and her appearance in the movie and why you'd want to collect this. Brand new. This does come with the, I believe, left leg, that Crimson Dynamo Build-A-Figure, but it was not in the movie, so not really my collection, so we won't be getting to put this together. We have the small pistols that fit in the holsters on the legs, fist hands. Closed fists are the alternate hands. Hands she comes with are for holding the guns, so she actually doesn't really have hands to hold these batons. I'm sure they kind of fit in the gun hands, but these are unpainted, and we opened the Melina and Red Guardian pack. She had painted batons, so I probably would do a swap so that this Black Widow figure could have the better detailed wands. And she does have the backpack kind of for holstering them. And that's just a glued on piece, but the deluxe Black Widow with the white costume and had all the stand and the explosion accessories. No backpack for holstering the batons. She only came with the clawed versions, and so Melina and this black suit Black Widow came with just the straight batons, so they had the backpacks. But the white suit one should have had the backpack also. So the guns do fit right in here. She didn't really use any guns when in any of her Black Widow suits in this movie. It was all about the baton weapons or her gauntlet stingers, which again are usually their own piece, although I think here they're glued on, maybe? No, they're loose. You could pull those off, which might be useful later if we... I think we'll do a lot of trading with some of these figures as far as some of the accessories, because here she has kind of unpainted batons, so maybe you trade with the Melina figure for the painted ones with the silver bits, and maybe even a body swap between Melina and this Black Widow where there's no backpack for the batons as well. So between all of them you can kind of really get full versions of each individual one. Some need more, some need less. This one really could have used the gauntlet effects, but in the movie her stingers kind of shot out red blasts instead of this blue, which I think she did have in other movies. Again, this figure doesn't come with these. The deluxe one came with these, but it's the wrong color for the Black Widow movie here that we're trying to represent with these particular figures. So we probably have to just kind of use that blue blast on another Black Widow figure. Maybe Age of Ultron time period or something like that. But she used the red blast a lot in the movie in this costume. Would have been a good accessory to have. But they did not do that. I feel like those don't go in very far either. They're kind of bendy, so I don't want to push them in too far. So kind of gray and black, two-tone, but then those gold kind of accents. Cool to see the suit since, you know, we kind of have the full Black Widow story already, and this is kind of a prequel movie. Able to get one more kind of cool costume out of it. But the faces are still pretty good. I feel like the Infinity War face was the most accurate likeness, actually, outside of even these. Although I think maybe this deluxe figure actually has a slightly better face than the single pack in the black suit. So I don't know what they can really amp up the detail with, even if it is a deluxe figure. What's the real difference in the method of giving them their face print? I don't know. So really, the deluxe Black Widow in the white suit, she was barely in the movie, in that there's only really one action scene with her in that suit. This is the real kind of final movie costume, so I had to kind of hunt this down because the figure line had kind of long since released, and I only grabbed, you know, a figure here and there as prices were going kind of up and down. I didn't grab this until I had seen the movie. I always wait until I've seen the film before I open and review figures, so I'll always have seen the movie first while I'm talking about them. I mean, they are movie action figures, so I don't know what you would be talking about other than, oh, it's this color and the joint moves like this. What is there to really talk about if you haven't seen the movie? But here she kind of has some of her gear that she used in the movie, but, you know, again, no guns. She did use the hook versions of the batons in this black costume, but the white suit deluxe figure is the one that came with them, so that's another one where you're kind of gonna give this figure the hooks because she actually used them in the movie. The white costume, she didn't really use the hooks, so she did use just the batons. I think she might have just kind of pulled them out, might have used it on like one guy, but she was like waving Yelena's helicopter in like at the airport. She was like just kind of waving them in. So again, with all these Black Widow figures, I think you kind of just got to do some trading, and you can get really cool versions of the costumes and weapons from the movies. I do notice the hair on all these, actually, they don't have the braids, and I think she has longer braids in the movie. And then I think I saw a screenshot where all her braided hair is actually just CGI. It's just computer added to all the scenes. That she didn't actually grow out her hair or even have like a wig. It was just digitally added on. What a weird thing that you just wanted to add, so every scene with her they had to digitally add to her hair. Seems like a lot of work for what we've been doing with wigs and hair extensions all this time. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that one, but the figures don't have the braids, so it's actually kind of missing some appearance that way. The braids were just an after effect. They didn't have that for making the figure, so there it's lacking. It's the weirdest thing. Sometimes they kind of make these too soon. I get the idea of having them in the store so they're available upon watching the movie instead of having to wait, but I also don't really like the spoiler aspect of it either, because here we had this black suit. She shows up for kind of the final mission of the movie in this white suit, and I know for a fact, you know, I've seen at least the figure. If you watch any bits of trailer, which I always try to avoid watching trailers for these anymore, I know I'm going to end up seeing them one way or another. But you get like forced these images in your face, like due to advertising. So it kind of gave away that I was like, well, obviously she's going to end up in the black suit, and there Melina at the very end is wearing this black costume. I was like, well, then you're obviously going to switch. It's some sort of trick. So I don't really like the spoiling aspect of these figures coming out. I do like collecting them, and I open them all up here. So for more Black Widow or just any Marvel Legends and all the other collectibles I collect here, get my collecting take on them, and we open them up brand new and check them out. And sometimes we look at old toys too, just for fun. Because that's what it's all about, is having the fun. Still pretty fun figure, good likeness for the movie, even if it's missing some CGI braids. Maybe I could just add some CGI braids to this. I have really good computer skills. I can add it in. Okay, not really.